Hey gang, it's Julie Creffield from the Fat Girl's Guide to Running. Merry Christmas. Now, normally I do these videos from East London in the UK, which is where I'm from, but today I am filming this from Pembrokeshire in Wales because I have been, the last week, off on a little adventure, and actually that is what this year's Christmas video is all about. The sense of adventure. Now, it's been an incredible year for me and also for Too Fat to Run, with lots of opportunities to go on these kind of incredible adventures. The highlights for me have been the Too Fat to Run retreat, which we did in May, where we had 22 women join us in Rhodes in Greece, where we got to spend a whole week together exploring what health and happiness means to us, with all kinds of fitness activities and mindset sessions and hypnotherapy. And it was just brilliant actually to spend a whole week in the sunshine with a bunch of really awesome women. Another highlight was when we got to go to Euro Disney. Again, we took a group of around 20 women to do a series of races in the Disney parks. Also got to take my family with me, which was brilliant. I got to take 5-year-old or nearly 5-year-old Rose, who did her first ever race and got her first medal, so that was pretty awesome. And then the other highlight for me is the start of some on-the-ground programmes which have been funded by Sport England. So we've started off with a pilot in Barking and Dagenham, which is in East London. It's one of the least active boroughs in the country, so we started in one of the most challenging areas because we know these programs work, and I'm working in partnership with an organisation called Studio 3 Arts, which are based in the borough. They've been there for a number of years, and they've got all the local contacts, and they've been brilliant at going out and kind of infiltrating the kind of groups and getting women to kind of buy into the programme. And we've already got over 30 women kind of engaged in the programme as ambassadors and potential coaches, and just coming out running with us and kind of talking to us about kind of what running means to them. So I think from that, it just makes me realise how important getting together as women is. And for those of you that are in the Christmas challenge, you'll know exactly what I mean by this. Whether it's online or offline, there is something really powerful about women being on a kind of similar journey. Now, you know, the Christmas challenge this year has been absolutely the best one that we've done so far. So I find it really interesting when, you know, we all know that stat that 2 million fewer women play sport than men because of fear, you know, and that is about a fear of judgment. Yet when you look in one of my online groups, there is no judgment. We've had women in the middle of Tesco's with, you know, tins of Quality Street doing their arm exercises, and women posting videos from their front room doing squats, you know. So in terms of judgment, there is absolutely no judgment in our online groups, and that's, you know, a lot to do with kind of the ethos and the values of what Too Fat to Run stands for. It is about kind of women coming together and celebrating each other. So one of the other things that I want to talk to you about is kind of this sense of adventure. I've got up this morning and I've left my family all sleeping soundly. We went out to the pub quiz last night, and they're all asleep, and I set my alarm. I got up before anyone else did, jumped on my bike, and I've come down to one of the trails at Bluestone, which is where we're staying. And I've done this most mornings. I've got up before everybody else and gone for a run, and I've gone on these mini adventures just by myself. And you know, you might think that's a little bit crazy or a little bit selfish, but you know, when you have a goal, which is something that I have at the moment, I'm running the London Marathon in April, you have to be selfish, you have to prioritise yourself, you have to realise, if I'm going to achieve the thing that I want to achieve, I need to put myself first. And I think as women, we find it really difficult to prioritise ourselves, particularly when it comes to kind of health and happiness. And, you know, sometimes we feel like we don't deserve to be happy. Why not? You know, we put everybody else first. We look after our kids, our friends, our colleagues, our partners, you know, our parents. You know, it's always about what can I do to help other people. But how often do we think, right, what do I actually need? What do I want? You know, what is my life about? I think this year for me has been a year of learning, a year of growth, but it's most definitely been a year of travel, and I'm very lucky in what I do. I get to, as part of my job, I get to travel quite a bit. both in my speaking, I speak at conferences, but also I get to go and review races and review places like this. You know, I'm very, very lucky. But I think there was a lot that we can do around kind of exploring what's just around us, you know, taking adventure into everyday life, and running is an amazing way of doing that. How often do we kind of ignore the green spaces that are around us? How often do we not know that there's a shortcut or a canal path or, you know, a route that you've not taken before? And running allows us to go on these mini adventures every day that we step outside of our door. So I'm encouraging you to do that more. I'm encouraging you to have a look around you, what is nearby, and also thinking about, you know, maybe I could travel somewhere to run somewhere different. Running gives you a really good reason, not that you need one, but a great reason to go and explore somewhere else where you are. I was going to say in the UK, but I know not all of you are in the UK. And in the Clubhouse, which is our online running club, a lot of the women do use that opportunity. So they'll do kind of park run tourism, or they'll hook up with somebody virtually and say, look, I'm going to be, I don't know, in Scotland for a week. Where can I run? Shall we meet up? Shall we go for coffee? And it's a brilliant way of making friends, exploring new areas, and just having a bit of fun, really. So things are kind of shifting a lot with what I'm doing in my business. Too Fat to Run is obviously going from strength to strength. We've now got kind of on the ground programs, and you know, our online challenges are, you know, growing in numbers and in kind of quality, I reckon. And in January we're starting a new kind of pricing structure for our Clubhouse, which is our online running club, because, you know, some women, as I said, don't like to prioritise or can't prioritise or find it difficult to prioritise their own health, particularly when it involves spending money. So up until now we've had kind of an annual membership, and some women have gone, oh, you know, I don't know if I can afford that, or, you know, there's lots of free stuff out there. And they're right, there is lots of free stuff out there, but, you know, there is something quite special about the Clubhouse. So to help women with that, we've brought in a pay what you can afford system. So you can join the Clubhouse from as little as £5 a month. Come on, £5 a month is like a cup of tea and a cake, less than that. So if you log on to the website, those prices are valid now, and we've got some incredible things coming up in the new year. Lots of different excursions that we're going to go on, lots of different guest experts, and loads of just normal kind of fun that we get up to generally. And then the other thing that I'm doing, which I'm going to be talking a lot about in the new year, is my Living a Bigger Life mastermind. Now, I've done lots of different jobs in my life. I started off working with young people, lots of young people at risk, young offenders, doing kind of arts programs. So I'd go in often with a video camera or my dance skills. I used to be a dancer, and we'd create pieces of art to help these young people kind of make sense of their lives, you know, to help them think about what they wanted, what the barriers were, you know, the things that kind of tripped them up in life, and we'd make pieces of art about their lives. And then I got involved in volunteer management, and I started working much more with adults, often with older people. And the Olympics came to town, the Olympics came to where I live in East London, and I become this volunteer expert, this kind of engagement expert in London 2012. And I worked on the Games for about 8 years on and off in different kind of capacities, as a consultant, as a kind of policy officer, and finally as an Olympic development manager in an East London borough. And I learned a lot about people during that time. I learned how something like the Olympics could transform somebody's lives. Giving people something to believe in, something to work together on, could be incredible. And I think when I look at how I've set up Too Fat to Run, I think I've used a lot of the Olympic values, you know, around kind of togetherness and respect and diversity and all of that kind of stuff, equality. So whenever I've done this kind of Too Fat to Run work, it's often kind of seeped out into stuff that isn't about running. It's often about empowering women. It's often about helping them to work out what it is they want in their lives. And often in the Clubhouse, discussions would kind of steer completely away from running, and much more to do with people's relationships, people's careers, what they wanted. And within the Clubhouse, I don't really have the capacity to work with women on that level. So I created a new program. And we've been piloting it with a group of women over the autumn. It's called Living a Bigger Life. It's a 10-week mastermind. Although once you've joined, you do get lifetime access to the program. So the idea is every few months we bring in a new group of women to go through the 10 weeks, and then they join the existing women in the Facebook group, and you continue working on your big fat stupid goals, which was one of the kind of key principles of the program. But also, I mean, at its core, it's about helping you to work out who you want to be, what you want to have, and what you want to do. But there are lots of kind of themed based things. It covers things like health and happiness. It covers stuff around kind of wealth and kind of getting the things that you want in life, and it just helps you to kind of put yourself first. You know, at its crux, that's what it's about. So to get people warmed up into that idea, I'm going to be doing a free challenge starting after Christmas, and we're going to be doing it on Instagram for a change. Most of my stuff is on Facebook, but I'm really getting into Instagram. I love the way that a photo can capture so much, so we're going to be doing it on Instagram. It's all going to be about how you can have an awesome 2018. It's completely free. You can sign up. I'll put the link in when it's ready, and we're just going to get kind of thinking about those themes, thinking about what it feels like to put yourself first for a little while, to carve out some time to think about you. Look, the thing is, our time on this earth is limited. Yeah, we all know we come into the earth, we live a life, and then we die, sadly. So it's so important that we make the most of it. It's so important that we make the most of every single second, and that we don't kind of get overwhelmed with all of the kind of petty, small things that we have to do as women. And, you know, learning real skills around how to say no, how to prioritise, how to strengthen your relationships, how to communicate properly with people. They're skills that will really, really help you to free up space and energy and time to do the things that you really, really want to in life. Christmas is a wonderful time to spend with friends and family, but it's also, for many people, an incredibly lonely and sad time. For me personally, I'm spending Christmas alone this year because my daughter's going off to her dad and to his side of the family. And I've tried to reframe it and use that time to think, to read, to write in my journal, to plan for next year, and to be grateful for what I do have. I'm grateful that my daughter has a relationship with her dad and his side of the family. I'm grateful that I can spend Christmas alone and don't feel like I have to go and you know, be with other members of my family. I'm grateful that I have the chance to work on my business and to kind of start the new year off fresh and, you know, with a new sense of kind of enthusiasm for the work. So yeah, like look around, have a look around at kind of your life right now and think about, you know, what to be grateful for. What changes you want to make, what you want to achieve next year, what races you want to do, how you're going to put your health first, because remember, if you don't have your health, you don't have anything. I think finally, I'm really grateful for the past few years in terms of what I've learned about myself, and it seems strange to say this, but I've realised that I am enough, like I'm okay, like Julie's all right. There's a real kind of fine line to kind of to manage around kind of being a big head, someone that no one likes, and just being proud of what you've achieved and proud of who you are and standing back and going, do you know what, I'm all right, I'm nothing special, but I'm all right. And you know, that's what I want women to feel. I want them to feel like, yeah, I'm okay, I'm all right. I don't need to change, I'm all right, I'm okay, I'm enough. So if I can just give you one message this Christmas, it's to look at yourself in the mirror and to say to yourself, I'm all right, I'm enough, I'm okay. And if you really don't believe it, start putting post-it notes all around your house. And this is something that I've done this year. Lots of post-it notes that remind me that I am enough. Have a wonderful Christmas, and I can't wait to work with you more in 2018. Mwah!